My name is Dan, and I'm here with my partner Graham. Now, if you have seen our previous episodes, we are starting this off a little differently than we normally do. If you're new here, we are a gay couple living in the Midwest, and we do this podcast to kind of give an inside look at our lives, what it's like, and kind of spread awareness about what it's like being gay in the modern age. Yeah. So this is going to be a little bit different of an episode, and it's based off of something that happened over on Friday in California. And it really just struck a chord with us, and I think it's really hitting hard for everyone in the gay community right now, and in the LGBTQ plus, just everyone around. It's been a horrible tragedy occurred. So Lori Carlton, she was a 66-year-old woman who owned a store in Cedar Glen, near Los Angeles, excuse me. And it was a clothing store, and she was actually shot and killed on Friday. And it all had to do with her having a pride flag outside of her store.
Yeah, what is the world coming to? I mean,
yeah. And so it was a crazy guy, allegedly, just was screaming homophobic slurs as he tore down her pride flag, and supposedly she fought back, and he ended up killing her.
He shot her, right?
Yeah. And then he actually ended up shooting at police as well. So her daughter has done interviews already and said that, the pride flag was an issue before of people trying to tear down the flag. And we even just watched this video about how she had ordered a new one because the sun had kind of faded the other pride flag. And so after the mom was killed, the new flag showed up on her porch because she was getting ready to change it out. So it just kind of shows.
I would emphasize too, she was murdered.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just horrible and senseless,
Right.
Like, she wanted to, show support and, that she was a loving and caring person, and it's just terrible.
Yeah.
I have no words, know.
And I think the words that we want to get across is that this is not a one-off situation. This is, and as we're going in to tell you, like, this is increasing about hate crimes.
Mm-hmm.
So we just kind of want to bring attention to this and have a space to maybe collaborate with some ideas. So if you have any ideas down below, or organizations that people can go to help LGBTQ people and all of this. And this has been kind of something we've heard a lot recently, is that, it's 2022, at least it's not like what it was back then. And that yes, it's better, but obviously it's not perfect. And there's still a lot of growth we have to do.
I mean, there's also a lot of work that has been done over the years that just keep getting turned back, A
lot is getting undone.
I mean, I'm not just going to blame, like, Trump here. I try to, keep my political stuff to the minimum, but I feel like that was really a turning point in this country. I feel like things have, and maybe it's not even just about feeling, it's about seeing, everything that's gone on. Do you remember there was going to be like a drag time story hour? Do you remember how big of a deal that was? And I think the Proud Boys made posts so much a threat that they had to cancel it, and it just...
Well, and you see these videos of like people showing up to drag shows with guns drawn and like just standing there to intimidate people, and it's like, this is not normal. Like, it's not okay. You should not be intimidating people, whether you agree with them or not. They're not hurting anyone. You are.
Exactly.
And so, taking information from CNN, they've looked into the killer of Lori, and apparently he had posted stuff on Twitter that
formerly known
as Twitter, just that he like his pinned tweet was a video of a pride flag being burned, and he was part of a lot of right-wing groups that were against same-sex marriage and all of that. So again, it's happening. There are these organizations that are working together kind of to do that. And we were kind of going down the rabbit hole of like instances of that have been occurring recently. And, not too long ago, there was that shooting.
Also last fall. Yeah. At Club Q.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. We were actually in Colorado Springs where this happened like a week before.
Mm-hmm.
And, as kind of we've been together for a few years, but I would say like you're my first like real true relationship with a man,
Uh-huh.
And we want to try to go out, when we're traveling and experience things and check places out where we might feel comfortable.
Experience
and
gay
it's
culture.
Yeah, and it's hard to do. Like you never know. Like we didn't go to Club Q that weekend, but not even a week later,
that shooting happened.
It killed five people. And again, it just...
And
there's no reason for it.
And even driving into town, we were getting weird vibes. There was a lot of signage, and that was part of the reason why we just kind of kept to our normal plan. But like when we go up and travel to new places, we try to look up where the gay scenes are so we can go and meet people and connect.
Yeah.
But we have gone out, and every time we go out, that's the only thing I think about. I'm on edge the entire time.
Yeah.
And so it's just horrible. And even here in Kansas City, before our Pride parade, someone shot a BB gun at people waiting in line at the gay bar. So that made us freaked out the entire time we were trying to enjoy Pride.
It actually kind of made us change our plans a little bit too.
Mm-hmm.
We changed our location of
where we were going to be. Yeah, because I just couldn't stop thinking about it, and it freaked me out. That
it just what explanation is there? Like, what in your mind? Like, what drives people to a hate crime? Is it just fear? I'm sure there are
there's probably a lot to it.
Or do you think people, like, when I say fear, I mean it in the sense that people are threatened by
what
Pride
they don't
merch
know.
or what they don't know? But I still don't, I can't wrap my mind around how it affects anyone else. Like, what does it matter?
I know.
It matters a lot to youth and, people like maybe younger versions of ourselves, somewhere comfortable,
Mm-hmm.
I think the world is trying to become a better place, and they're just people, vehemently... Am I saying that right?
Yeah. I know what word you're trying.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
It just... I don't know.
I don't get
and
why
like
people that is their personality to hate on just another group,
Yeah, like I said, you see groups again. I'm gonna mention the Proud Boys again. Like they, popped up. There was this whole tone shift, during that presidency under Trump, and that's personally why I couldn't ever vote for him.
No, yeah.
But it just he even made comments. Remember, he made that comment about Mike Pence, saying like something about don't leave Pence around the gays because he wants to hang them all, and he's laughed. Remember?
Jeez, I don't recall.
You don't
that.
recall that?
Mm-mm.
We could look it up.
Yeah. I do want to get into some statistics. So I looked up, and this is coming from the Marshall Project.
Where's it sourced from? Does it say? Is it like
it's
FBI or
yes, it's the MarshallProject.org, and
okay, so it's a full organization.
Yeah,
okay,
it's from the FBI.
Okay.
So from 2020 to 2021, reported hate crimes rose by more than 11%, according to data collected by the FBI. Crimes against Asian Americans and Pacific Islanders and LGBTQ people saw some of the highest increases. Now, let's just take a step back. And the definition of a hate crime is a crime typically one involving violence that is motivated by prejudice on basis of ethnicity, religion, sexual orientation, or similar grounds.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I want to show this map that is on the Trevor Project, because I didn't realize this, but or sexual orientation is only protected in 33 states as far for hate crimes. So that wouldn't even classify as a hate crime as a target on a LGBTQ person in those other states. So it's
and
just
then
crazy.
there are weird, well, I say weird, but there are laws like the self-defense law, you know, where someone can kill a queer person out of self-defense because they felt threatened or something. So we had to just quickly fact check ourselves to make sure we're trying not to be putting misinformation.
Yeah, we're trying to be very factual with this inside our sources, and just because I don't want anyone to discredit what we're saying. But yeah, so you looked it up.
So what I was referring to is known as a gay panic defense. I found this on NBC News. This is from May 2018. I'll just read a little bit from the beginning of this article. Gay rights advocates are outraged after an Austin, Texas man received a light sentence for stabbing his neighbor to death in what some are calling an example of the so-called gay panic defense. For decades, the rare defense has allowed a victim's sexual orientation or gender identity to justify violent crime in some cases, and now advocates are saying it should be banned. Why is that a thing anyway?
Yeah, that is odd.
It sounds very, deep state, you know.
Yeah, and so
it's just there's so many facets to living this lifestyle and things
I don't
you
think
have
people give it credit. They are like, okay, it's cute, or you know, or whatever it is, but I don't think people realize how
the impact
and how this is every day. And it's, you know, there are struggles of different communities, but this one obviously hits close to home to us, but it's something that we're constantly thinking about. You know, when we have people working in our house, we take down pictures.
It's really pathetic that we have to do that, but you never know. I mean, I don't want my waiter to know, you know? I don't want my food spit in, potentially. Not saying that everyone would do that,
but it's just like, why take the risk?
You know, you have to be, no one's going to look out for you more than you can look out for yourself.
Right.
You know?
And I know it's odd saying that we like hide our stuff while we're sitting here on this podcast, but even doing this and putting ourselves out there,
we're trying to make it a better place. You know, we want people to see their successful, you know, relationships that are same sex, and it doesn't have to be anything. It can be whatever you want.
We're productive members of society. But you know, even when we post like shorts and clips of our podcast, every time we're talking about our sexual orientation, we get those comments that are like, you're gonna burn in hell, this isn't what God wants. And I think that's where this all stems from. And I know this might push people's buttons, but if you're using religion as a way to hate on gay people, that is a problem. And I think what I want to drive home to people is, if you hear something, say something. Like, this person was posting on Twitter about stuff. He wasn't making threats to any specific person. And again, I don't know where you can send that information to someone. Again, if you guys know of anything, put it in the comments. But, you know, like, if you're in a group setting and someone's saying something, call them out. Like, there were so many times growing up that people would say stuff not knowing that I was gay, and I would just laugh along with it.
Yeah. And it's like, you know, like, it just microaggressions at times too. You know, it seems like a funny joke to someone, but it can have, you know, real damaging and lasting effects.
You know, I remember I was a senior in high school, and I was in home ec class, and my teacher was an older lady, and somehow it got brought up about gay couples, and she was just like, ugh, it shouldn't happen. And she said that in school this day and age. And it just, I was crushed that, you know, it's lost all respect for them.
You feel like there's no one looking out for you at that point, you know?
Yeah, and you just don't know, if you say that at the wrong time to the wrong person, what that impact could be.
Yeah.
And, you know,
it could be life-ending, we're seeing, you know?
And it is just so all the time, and you just don't. So I want to include a clip. I have permission to use it, but someone that I was friends with, or am friends with,
I was going to say we're friends with.
We're friends with. You know, he was getting ready to go live for a news story, and someone screamed the F word right out the window.
Yep, just got called that at the age of 29 in 2018. That's lovely.
It's just like, it's so everyday, and it's so just like, I don't know, people like to brush it off that everything's okay.
I mean, we've had friends say straight to our faces that this kind of thing doesn't happen.
Yeah, that it's 2023.
Whatever, yeah.
And that this doesn't happen anymore, and that's just so
I'm
insulting.
tired of hearing it too, you know, but...
Yeah, so we do want to end it on a positive note, or a better note. I know this has been a heavy one, but it's been heavy for us.
It's relevant, and that's, like you said, this is what we want to touch on these subjects too.
That is the point of this podcast. So just lift each other up, please. No hate. But I am going to include in the bio of this video, this is a link to 20 organizations that are helping with LGBTQ people. Includes the Trevor Project, True Colors United, just something about LGBTQ elders, so the GLAAD organization. So I want to include these resources. Probably would be best to keep this in our descriptions going forward.
Sure, yeah.
But is there anything else you wanted to kind of touch on with this?
I think that's, really it. I'm sure there's a lot we didn't touch on, but it's just...
And if we didn't say something just right, please give us grace. This is our first time doing like an all serious episode, and it's hard. So I just want to make sure.
Yeah, and we both work full time. More than 40 hours a week.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's hard to do.
We do want to extend our condolences to Lori Carlton's family.
Yeah.
It's just tragic, and everyone just kind of spread positivity and
just love on each other. If religion's your thing, I'm not one to like dog on religion. I think everyone should have the rights, in this country to whatever religion you want to practice. Just make sure it's based out of love. That's Jesus' teaching. I grew up Catholic, and we'll probably have a religion episode later.
Yeah.
But,
again, do what you want, believe what you want. Just don't.
As long as it's not hurting someone else, it's really the key thing. So.
Yeah. Okay, well, please comment down below if you have any thoughts about how to spread awareness, how to help people, how to stop this. I don't know. It's a lot. But thank you guys for watching.
Yes.
And we'll be back next week with a more upbeat and fun one. So
for now, stay safe, stay vigilant.
Be nice.
Be nice.
See ya.